Well, Dennis and Alicia, you might remember this case from December of 2008. After the shooting, the Carlisle mayor called Brian Newell a knight in shining armor for protecting his fiancee during that home invasion. Today, Brian Newell is still paralyzed, but he's also extremely determined. If you look at 23-year-old Brian Newell and see a wheelchair and a victim, you would hardly be seeing the whole picture. Brian Newell is a survivor.
I think that it's pretty much all the fight. I mean, the fight the individual has in their heart.
He's a young man bound by a spinal injury, but determined to walk again, who has not let tragedy take away his smile.
I mean, my mom's always told me not to focus on the things I can't do, just focus on the things you can. And that really pulled me through a lot.
December 29th, 2008 was the day that changed Brian Newell's life forever. He was at his home in Carlisle with his fiancee, Jenna Keller, when two men came in looking to rob his stepbrother. One of them had a gun. Police say Vincent Flemister grabbed Jenna and held that gun to her head. Brian didn't hesitate.
I grabbed the gun and jumped down the stairs, and him and I wrestled a little bit. I mean, he tried to shoot me in my head twice. The first time it missed, and then the second time it missed my head, but it went into my neck.
I thought he was going to die, and I mean, it scared me. I didn't know what to do, and I ran outside trying to get help.
The bullet is still lodged in Brian's spine.
There have been times where, you know, I told myself that it's my fault that, you know, that he's in his wheelchair, but I mean, every time I say it, he always yells at me.
Last week, Vincent Flemister was convicted of attempted homicide. Brian and Jenna both testified and identified him as the shooter, although Flemister maintains police have the wrong man.
I think the problem with the victim's testimony or identification, it just can't be trusted. And I think it's a case of the victim and his fiancée wanting somebody to be guilty so bad that Flemister took on that role.
Obviously, Vincent Flemister got the best of Brian Newell that day, but we got the best of him last week, and he's going to go away for a long time where he belongs.
For Brian, the trial signaled an end to this horrible chapter of his life. He says he can now focus on healing, and more importantly to him, walking. He recently received stem cell treatments in Mexico.
I think the stem cell is definitely a promising thing. If it's not going to work now, it's going to work in the future.
I know he's going to walk. I just have a feeling.
He's a person to be admired. I think he has every confidence that he's going to walk again. I don't think anybody's going to tell him any different.
For now, Brian is looking at prospective colleges and spending time with his 5-year-old son, Kian. And he'll continue to test his limits, like the time he took his wheelchair to a skate park.
I want to eventually have kids and have a house and, you know, get married and just be together.
It's the hope in the fight, because, I mean, if you lose your faith and lose your hope, then, I mean, you might as well lay down and be paralyzed your whole life.
As we said, Brian is looking at colleges. Jenna is thinking of joining the Army. Vincent Flemister, meanwhile, will be sentenced in May. Prosecutors will ask for significant jail time. But again, Flemister maintains that he did not do this. His attorney says it's unclear if he will appeal.
What a story, Ellie. That was great. What spirit. Thanks so much.